All right, so here's the new fire extinguishers, and here's one of the old ones. I had to do a little bit of research to see if these were Coast Guard approved, and they are. So, label right on them. If I can find it. Better be. Yeah, I think right there. U.S. Coast Guard approved. Valid only with this bracket, though. You got to have this tie-down bracket. So I think we're good to go there. So they're a little bit taller than the old ones. Not sure if they're more capacity or not, but what you're looking for on your old ones is some kind of date on the bottom. Either the full 4-digit year, or in this case a 2-digit year, so 2010. They're good for 12 years. So this one's right at the end. I don't want to get caught with it though. I think the one in this cabin is even older, I thought. Let's see what this one is. And again, both of these show okay, you know, from a pressure standpoint. Yeah, this one's also 2010. I've got some other older ones on the boat that I'm going to look at. I might keep those 2010s stashed away, but to be legal, I wanted to have a fresh one. So after a little bit of fiddling, I've got both the new fire extinguishers mounted. As it turned out, the old mounts worked fine for these, so I didn't even have to remount this one. The one in the back berth, I did have to relocate it just a little bit because these are taller, and it hit my fan. Still makes it a little difficult to get that latch up, but I can do it. So I think we're good. I also dug through and found 2 other old ones that were stored. And these 2 boys were from 1987. Boat was built in 88, so I don't know where these came from, but they're oldies, so they will go. And I have one more in the lazarette. It's a larger one, and I'm going to have to take a look at that one, I think, and figure out what it is. Well, I pulled out the last fire extinguisher, second to last actually. I'll show you the last one. This one appears to be compressed nitrogen. Now the gauge still reads good. However, this must be a recertifiable one. According to this, it was last done, I guess, in 1996. So I guess I'll take it and see if it can be recertified. Not really sure. I have to do a little research on this one and see, you know, just what it's for. It says ABC rated, but I'll have to do a little bit of investigation. I don't see any kind of manufacturer date on the bottom, and maybe that's not required if it's recertified or something. I don't know. So anyway, I'll have to do something with that one to make sure it's okay. But we do meet the Coast Guard minimum requirements. Actually we exceed slightly. These are 10B or B10 rated, and we have 2 of them on board, and we're a 32-foot boat. So the regulations, as I understand it, are you need a minimum of 2 5B devices, and we do meet that requirement. I did mention that we actually have one other type of fire extinguisher on board, and I'll show that to you real quick. So in my engine compartment, which is very small, by the way, it's really not a big, can't call it an engine room. Let me grab a flashlight here. The boat came with a type of fire suppression in the engine compartment. So you can see that it's a halogen cylinder with an automatic head on it. Now I called my local fire equipment place to see what I could do with it. Could I get it recertified or whatever? And the short answer was no, they don't do those anymore. So I'm sure it's not in date, but I don't know that it hurts anything either. So if there were an engine fire, I think this would release the halon gas, which would theoretically snuff out or starve the fire from oxygen. That's about all it would do. But I figure it's better than nothing. If there was a fire in this little compartment, that might be helpful. So I'm gonna leave it. I won't take credit for it. In other words, if you have an automatic suppression system, I think you can get by with, you know, less fire extinguishers on board. But I'm not gonna take credit for it, and we'll just use these. Actually, I think there's one more tucked away here, and this probably doesn't meet Coast Guard regulations. It should be hung up. Forgot about this guy. Let's see, he's also a 2010. So, no, 2001. So this one's definitely past its prime. Again, still has a positive charge on it. Says it's full, but I think that one's going to go with the bad guys. I'll keep these two on board as spares, even though they're technically, this is the year that they expire, I think. So if you haven't done it already, check your fire extinguishers. Make sure that you are up to date on the latest Coast Guard regulations, and inspect your fire extinguishers accordingly. So thanks, and have a safe day. All right, well, we're keeping up with our fire extinguisher replacement, and I thought what I would do, I was trying to figure out how to get rid of fire extinguishers, you know, like used ones or expired ones. And what I read was you can like relieve the pressure on them and throw them in the garbage. So I'm going to do that. I'm out in my backyard. Got a burning barrel here. It's not burning anything right now. But I thought I would just see, what do these fire extinguishers do when you squeeze the trigger? So these are all my expired ones. I'm going to give them a little blast and see what happens. And then once the pressure's out, I'm going to put them in the trash. So here we go. This one is 2001. So it's old. But let's see what it does. It's a 5 BC from 2001. Here we go. So there you have it. It's exhausted itself now. I mean, it actually did pretty good for a 20-some-year-old fire extinguisher, I think. Here's another one. This one is from 2003, it looks like. This is an ABC fire extinguisher, dry chemical. Pulled the pin, and let's try it and see what it does. Alright, that one's got quite a bit of force, as you can see. So you know that's going to make one heck of a mess in your boat if you fire one of these babies off. This one is from 86. So it's a really old one. Still shows it's got positive pressure on it. It's another dry chemical one. Fire Control is the name of the company. So let's see if it still fires. It did fire, but this one had a whole lot less oomph to it. It's also one of the smallest of the bunch, so maybe that's why. And then I've got one last one. This is a kitty, an ABC. I think this one was also from like 86, 87, something like that. This one also shows that it's fully charged, so let's take one last look and see what this one does. Chemical's a little different color. A lot of dry chemical crap there. Yeah, it's hard to see, but there's a lot of white powder in the bottom of that garbage can. So that's the that's what they look like when you blow them off. Now the canisters are all very light. They were kind of heavy before. And now I think I can throw them in the garbage now that they don't have pressure on them. So it was a good thing to try them just to see what they do. As you know, I replaced 2 of them on my boat. I put one in the house because the one I had in the house was from pretty old too. And I put one down in my workshop that I didn't have before. So we are all set with fire extinguishers.